Hey everybody, I want to let you know about how we've been able to help some folks move to Louisville, Kentucky and go over some of the steps so that you can actually understand the process. And of course, moving to a new city, whether for a new job, family reasons, whatever the reason, it's going to be stressful, let's face it. But my job is to help make the process as minimally stressful as possible. So let's go over some of the steps involved in getting you to Louisville. Hey everybody, I'm Neal Cox with Judah Real Estate Group right here in Louisville, Kentucky. So let's go over some of these steps, 10 steps, how we help you make your move to Louisville. So number one, of course, research. A lot of people watching this video have already begun researching. What's the cost of living? Where should I live? What kind of homes are available? The internet is, of course, a huge resource. You can learn quite a bit about our area from the web. But there's no substitute for having boots on the ground and an ally to help navigate the process here. That's me. So that leaves us to step number 2, reach out. Call, text, email, of course, sound the bugle. However you do it, we would love for you to get in contact with us. Here's how to reach us. I'm a Louisville expert, and I can definitely be your source beyond just the internet. Now, step number 3, this is big, financing. If you're wanting to pay full cash for a house, there are people out there that do that from time to time. You can basically skip step 3. But what large companies don't want you to know is that local lenders are better. So you're going to have an easier time if you let me give you some people locally to choose from rather than coming with, Rocket Mortgage or whatever. Here's why though. They're closely competing with each other, so they have to have the most competitive rates. They're also only as good as their reputation. Every time they do a good job, they are helping to earn street cred to be in a position to help another client. Places like Rocket Mortgage, they can outspend the local guys to get name recognition, but their actual performance is not usually considered when people are seeking a lender. The folks that I usually partner with are pros that know how to get it done. Of course, if you already have a relationship with a lender that is licensed to do business here, by all means, we can work with that too. One of the things a lender does in the process is to tell you how much you're qualified for. So, of course, that leads us to step 4, which is to begin the search. And we figured out what price range we're looking at from getting the financing figured out. So we start with that budget and maybe some ideal parameters for what you may be looking for. Of course, there's sites that you can use to search, like the one that starts with a Z, the one that wants to tell you how much your house is worth without ever seeing it. The most efficient way to be up to the minute is for me to put you on an MLS search using your criteria. The MLS system, it's the system that only realtors have access to. It's the data that the Z site uses to make their content. So in other words, you go to the source of their data rather than someone who is copying. After I put all the search criteria in, the system will know to email you and me every time a new match comes up, and I can set it to email you immediately or once a week or any frequency. Kenneth?
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
That leads us, of course, into step 5, which is the tour. When we find some possible winners for our search, we go see them. I have done this in several ways. I always would prefer for you to be here and see the houses in person. There's no equal substitute for that. But I have had folks that are moving from the West Coast to Louisville, and it was really not doable to tour houses in person. And, from like a 30, 45-day process, they might not be interested in coming and renting with some uncertainty for 30, 45 days, however long. So they want to go ahead and get it done. Virtual tours can be done. I've done them live and I've done them recorded with a ton of footage. I get really detailed too when I do that. I show the drive there, the imperfections I find, everything. But when you're in person, there are things like the feel of the house or details about natural light that are hard to get a sense of virtually. In person better, virtual is possible though. Step 6, the offer and the negotiation. We use market data and conditions to help craft the best offer on a home. We also can help with most areas of the country if you have a home to sell also. I'm a client of a company that helps me put out a bunch of Facebook content for real estate. The really cool thing, one of the cool things, is that for you, that means I have trusted referral partners all over the country. Typically, they're some of the best agents where they are too. We will help negotiate on your behalf, and we will arrange for inspections and appraisals and all that stuff too, of course. For services like inspections, you can use any service provider that you want. I do have some great service providers that I would be happy to refer to you, but just know you're allowed to shop for your own service providers. Step 8 is the closing, and closing on a new home is terribly exciting. It can be done right here at the title company in Louisville, or it can be done remotely. The title company sends a notary to you and then overnights the paperwork back. My favorite title company that I like to use, they're exceptionally proficient at this. I just go get this signed in Saginaw or wherever. They just get it done. I don't have to do a lot of nagging. Step 9 is caretaking. So this won't apply to everyone, of course, but sometimes we close and it might be a couple weeks before you're moving here. Again, we have a solution. A recent client was in this exact same situation this spring. Rather than having their neighbors already upset because their lawn was overgrown, I had it mowed for them. I made sure utilities were up and running and there's no pipes leaking or anything like that. Need me to grab your mail? I can do that too. And then in step 10, you move to Louisville, Kentucky, and now all of a sudden your life is perfect. Second part might be a little bit of a stretch, but I continue to be a resource for my clients after they are here. I can give recommendations for entertainment, dining, tell you whether or not to be a U of L fan or a U of K fan. Go Cards, by the way. I can also help with great service providers. We can go out for lunch. But, sometimes it's like, hey, Neal, do you know someone who can come fix this for us? And usually I do. A lot of my clients become friends. It's fun because I get to help fill Louisville with all my new friends. So there you go. That's how we help. And if you're making plans to move to Louisville, I would be honored to help. Reach out.